Welcome back. Here's mini reading number 3 of Stan Lee's The Devil's Quintet, The Armageddon Code. 3. In the pre-dawn murk along the southern border of Kazakhstan, only the shepherds and a few scattered groups of copper miners hear the low hum approaching on the wind. It sneaks up on them from the convolutions of glacial moraines and gorges cut like gaping wounds through the mountains. One of the older miners pauses, shining his torch heavenward at the ceiling of black clouds obscuring the stars. A wizened, bearded old sheepherder, dressed in the traditional wool cape of the ancient Bedouins, he sees nothing but night sky. Just for an instant, though, the old man feels a trickle of terror running down his spine, causing gooseflesh to break out along his leathery arms and legs. He has heard that sound before, that deep buzzing noise like an enormous insect scraping along the parched earth. It's a message from God, a portent always followed by bloodshed or upheaval. The old man shivers as a fountain of dust swirls up behind a dark berm a quarter-kilometer away, whirling like a dervish and then trailing away after the specter of death for several moments before dwindling to nothing. 4. From inside the low-flying stealth Black Hawk, Spur can see the pilot in front of him, a big man in yellow aviator glasses hunched over the stick, keeping the bird as steady as a chalk line as they hug the ground, skimming along at 300 kilometers per hour. The Onyx Black Helo is one of the only 2 prototypes currently in use among U.S. forces, outfitted with extras like rotor blades in the tail, a modified Rolls-Royce engine with noise reduction technology, and exterior sound baffling to keep the craft as silent as a slight stirring of the wind. Through the windshield, Spur can see the shadow-bound landscape rushing under them like a black ocean. He estimates their current altitude at around 15 meters, well under the radar, low enough to see the cracked pavement of derelict roads and battered directional signs printed in Arabic flashing past them in the pre-dawn gloom. "Hey, Cap!" Spur says to the pilot, raising his voice just slightly above the droning hiss of the blades. According to legend, the bird is so quiet that personnel on the ground can hear voices emanating from the sky as it passes. "You got an ETA yet?" The broad-shouldered pilot nods at a GPS screen on the panel. The man in his late 50s, with the face of a dour bloodhound, Captain Ed Deegan is a legend in Special Forces circles. Originally a field commander in the 75th Ranger Regiment, airborne, he has kicked ass from Kosovo to the Sudan. "Yeah, there's 10 clicks to go," he says. "That's if the intel's to be believed. We'll be there in 3 minutes, give or take." Spur checks his watch. There should be plenty of darkness left to launch the excursion. Hopefully the warlord Osimer is still residing in his labyrinth of caves. These renegade hideouts are easily breached, porous as hell, with primitive security. Makes a smash and grab operation like this one, as Spur might say, as easy as pecan pie. As a matter of fact, Spur wants to be back at the base by mid-morning, with the intel gift wrapped with some pretty blue paper and a pink ribbon for the brass. "Copy that," Spur says to the pilot, and secures his rucksack for deployment. Inside the field bag are high-def cameras and portable copying gear. "Give us 15 after the dust-off," Spur adds. "We ain't back at the rendezvous point in 20. Send flowers." Deegan understands. As the aircraft slows and a deeper humming vibrates up the fuselage, Spur shoots a glance over his shoulder at his team. They're crouched behind him, headsets and mics framing their faces, night vision goggles already on, rifles up and high and ready. Best unit Spur's ever commanded in the field. "All right, let's shake asses out there," he says to them. "No drama. Watch your backgrounds. Wait for the diversionary ordnance and then get your butts in and out. Shouldn't be more than a handful of guards, each with a Russian AK. Take them down first, if necessary. Move, shoot, and communicate." He looks at Hack. "Hack, you got the point." Hack nods, his goggles rattling. Then he says, Not to belabor the point in any way, but in the likely event we meet up with the target, the rules of engagement are, what? Shoot to wound. Get the intel and get the Sam hell out of there. Period. You copy? Like a Xerox machine, he says with that New York City twang. The floor of the Black Hawk vibrates up through their bones, and the G-forces tug at them as the chopper banks around a steep slope in the darkness. Deegan finds a level patch on a ledge and lands the bird. The skids hit hard. Spur feels the impact in his molars as the backwash from rotor blades envelops the aircraft in white noise. Spur yanks open the jump door, and the agents follow Hack into the night.